from Entwickler Magazin. I'm here at EKON 16 in Düsseldorf. I'm here with Ohlsson. Mr. Ohlsson, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Anders Ohlsson. I work for Embarcadero in developer relations, so I do presentations at events like this. We have actually a code rage that starts in a day or so. It runs for 3 days as well. I've been doing a lot of Delphi for a long time, but almost 20 years if you count Turbo Pascal as Delphi as well. Yeah.
Today you gave an introduction to the new features of Delphi XE3. What's, in your opinion, the most exciting feature?
If I had to pick one, I think it would be live bindings. It makes it much easier to use live bindings. Visual live bindings is the feature that I'm talking about, so it makes it a lot easier to hook up live bindings at design time.
Okay, can you describe this whole feature a bit?
So visual live bindings essentially makes it very easy for you to hook up data to visual elements. So if you take a client data set, you drop down a T-grid, and then you go and say bind visually, you get what looks like kind of reminds you of a UML diagram, where you have or a class diagram where you have the data set and its columns, and then you have the string grid. So then you can connect just visually the star or the asterisk from the grid to the data set, or vice versa, and then add a DB navigator and do the same thing there. And visually, voila, you have a fully interactive database application, if you will. Very simple, but it's very powerful visual live bindings.
Great. One of the hottest topics right now in software development is mobile. Delphi has got some nifty features regarding this mobile. Why would it make sense to use Delphi as the language of choice for developing for mobile devices?
So once we come out with Mobile Studio, you'll have Delphi for iOS to begin with, and then Android after that. So why would it make sense to use Delphi? Well, specifically, of course, if you already are a Delphi programmer and you're very familiar with Delphi and FireMonkey or VCL in the past, then you will recognize yourself very much. I showed in the What's Cooking in the Lab session today, I showed a preview of the Mobile Studio where you have a form designer. And of course you have the same form designer in other IDEs as well, but you drag and drop your components down, you double click on a button, for instance, and you write Delphi code. And one of the coolest features will be then, once we have both iOS and Android, you'll have one native code base targeting both iOS and Android. So with a simple recompile, you can run the application on multiple platforms, just like you can do today for Windows and Macintosh. You can take a Windows FireMonkey application, retarget it for Macintosh, recompile and launch the application, and in most cases it will just run.
Okay, and when will it be released?
Mobile Studio will be released somewhere in the first half of 2013, so next year.
Okay, another hot topic is Microsoft with Windows 8. So Delphi is prepared for Windows 8?
Yes, we have Windows 8, what they call or called Metro style. I think it's called Windows 8 Modern UI style now. So we have the Windows 8 style of applications that you can create. So we can create Windows 8 desktop applications today, and also with something we call live tile integration, so that you have a T-live tile component that can basically send updates to and from the live tiles, so that you can have a start screen with a live tile that keeps up to date as well.
Okay, you mentioned FireMonkey before. Today you showed FireMonkey 2. So what's so special about FireMonkey 2?
Well, FireMonkey 2, of course, as before, FireMonkey supports both Windows and Macintosh, so it's a multi-platform solution. And of course, I like the visual live bindings, which is of course part of FireMonkey as well as VCL, but also the sensors and devices platform support is very interesting, especially when you come to mobile then, because they're part of the RTL, the runtime type library, the runtime library, so that you will write the same code essentially for Windows and Macintosh as you will for a mobile application, so that when you request a sensor like a motion sensor or a location sensor to get your longitude and latitude for a location-based application, for instance, it's the same code on Windows, Macintosh, and iOS and Android going forward when Mobile Studio comes out. And same thing all throughout. As much as possible, wherever it makes sense, components will have the same properties, methods, events, and everything will be just as if you're targeting Windows or Macintosh for mobile as well.
Okay, another hot, well, no, not again, hot, sorry, we have to cut it again. Another feature you showed was the HTML5 Builder. What's so special about this feature?
Well, HTML5 Builder is an IDE that allows you to program for today's web technologies. So you can use HTML5, you can use PHP on the server backend, you can use JavaScript, you can use CSS3 for theming and styling of your application. We include theme roller for style support, or styling support, if you will, theme support. We have code insight for all of the languages, so PHP, HTML, CSS3, whatever makes sense. It's a context-sensitive or task-oriented IDE. You can, in the box, you can target web applications, so desktop web applications, or mobile web applications, or you can target native applications through PhoneGap for various mobile devices. In the box is iOS, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Phone. And then if you would like to do any of the other mobile platforms that are supported by the PhoneGap online build service, you can connect to that and do that as well.
Oh, I'm looking forward to use it by myself. So, as I mentioned before, I'm very new to this community. What's so special about programmers using Delphi?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, sometimes it's almost like a religion, if you will. You know, people just like Delphi. The people who like Delphi, I should say, are they like it because of the simplicity, because of the VCL, because of FireMonkey, because of how easy it is to do a lot of different things. Our goal has always been through the last 25 years to make the developers or the programmers' life easy through various productivity features.
Okay, so there's constantly a new version of Delphi. So last year it was Delphi XE2. This year it's XE3. What are the next big steps?
Well, the next big step is, of course, Mobile Studio. So that will be, like I said, in the first half of 2013. And then after that, past iOS and Android, there's WinRT for ARM and that kind of stuff on the roadmap. And of course, whatever the next version will be, for instance, XE4, right? But I can't go into specific details on when exactly those will be released.
Okay, thank you for taking the time to answer my questions, and enjoy EKON.
All right, thank you, and thanks for having me here.